catch up with him maybe a couple of times a year. Pete Waterman, there's the beatboxing vicar. There's various people for no reason. We just like to clock in with to see how they are doing. And Bin Dave is one of them. He's a binfluencer. And we've had him on a couple of times before because of bins. And there is like a little peg, as we call it, to this, because bins in Sweden, in the last couple of weeks, have introduced... Sweden have introduced bins that talk. That will really get you to put the rapper in, won't it? So I thought that was what made me think of Bin Dave. But then I did think, well, actually... I do know that Dave has more than one string to Dave's bow, because he also loves dressing gowns. So we thought we'd fill a hole today and get Dave on. All right, Dave.
Morning, Molly. How's the breakfast show going?
Oh, the breakfast show's going really well.
That's right, because you were on the late show before, weren't you?
Saturday nights, yes. Now, that's where we've spoken to you. But no, I've moved back to me home where I was before, back to Saturday Brekkie, which is nice.
Oh, that's good. And, good morning, West Midlands. I hope you're sitting there in your morning cuppa with a dressing gown possibly on as well, and using your bin to put your tea bag in. The ultimate.
The ultimate, absolutely. Well, before we get on to dressing gowns, which I've never spoken to you about before, Bin Dave, any bin news since I spoke to you last? Any exciting things?
Yeah, well, obviously, as you know, with the Dustbin Dave thing that came out early this year with the news of me, I photographed bins and was getting a collection up, etc. That all obviously came out. You heard about the vaping bin what I helped to promote, and the fab bin that I was given, which I used. But apart from that, the Pinterest that it's created has been really good, because I've got a Facebook page that me and a friend set up called Bins Fantastic, and on Twitter it's World of Bins. And words obviously been getting around because I've had hundreds of photos coming, literally hundreds. So my collection now, and I document every photo. I save every single photo and write down who sent it and where the picture was taken. So now my photo collection of bins, with the help of everyone else, is heading towards 1,000. And I reckon I could hit that target maybe in a couple of months. But yeah, it's the Pinterest it's creating like that. Basically, when people are going on holiday or on days out, they're doing something that they've never, ever done before. And that's stopping, taking a photo of a bin and sending it to me.
To Dave.
So, So that is amazing in itself. And of course, it's also creating the interest that to use the bins what they're actually for, to put the rubbish in. So it's making people more aware of bins in general, to have a look out for them and to actually use them as
mindful.
Well. And, that's mindful. Right. And we've had all sorts sent in from all over the world. And what you said earlier with the Swedish bins talking, there's a couple of regulars in Holland who send me bins, and they've got some bins with sensors. So when they're full, they actually tell you when they're full. And they almost look like space-age bins. They're really futuristic bins in Holland. And all the streets look so clean as well. So that's been very impressive. I've been very impressed with the Dutch bins.
That's good.
And unfortunately, I think the UK is a little bit behind the times in the big world. So we do need to catch up with Europe. But I'm just pleased that everyone is literally looking out for bins and taking photos of them in front of their family and friends, probably all laughing as well, doing something they've never ever done before.
Well, that is very binteresting. Thank you for the update on the bins. Let's get on to the dressing gowns.
Okay, yeah. Well, with the dressing gowns, I've sort of loved wearing a dressing gown for quite a long time now. I'm sure there's a lot of listeners out there now having their morning cuppa, sitting in their dressing gown. Probably been their dressing gown for most of the day. Maybe you might put your bins out in your dressing gown. You might have a little chat with your neighbours with your dressing gown on. But I just sort of love them in general. And I started up a club quite a few years ago now on Facebook called the Dressing Gown Club. And you have to request to join it, but we all sort of send pictures of ourselves in a dressing gown or various situations. And this was started up from a friend who was like obsessed with her dressing gown. She used to drive in a dressing gown all the time, do the school runs in a dressing gown, go to the cash point in a dressing gown, and once even drove up to Scotland from Norfolk in a dressing gown. So that was set up with her in mind, and obviously I sort of love wearing them as well. But the thing I love with dressing gowns is the comfort. There's especially in the winter, there's nothing better than getting in from work, getting out your work clothes, getting in your nice, comfy dressing gown. And it's the designs of them as well. A lot of them have hoods, and they can be long, they can be short. There's all sorts of different styles you get. I mean, I've got 2 dressing gowns. In the warmer months, I've got a Superman dressing gown with a hood. It's a nice little fleece number, and it comes up just below my knee. And that's quite sort of, that's sort of nice and cool to wear as well in the winter. When it's a little bit colder, I've got a much thicker dressing gown, which goes to just around my ankle area. And that's a blue and white stripy Colchester United dressing gown. Now, there's not many Colchester United fans around in Norfolk, so I'm probably literally the only one. So that's quite an exclusive little number, that one. So I love wearing that one. But that is firmly placed on my hanger upstairs, ready for the colder months. But yeah, you can. It's just the comfort. It's just a really nice thing to chill out in a dressing gown. I mean, have you got a dressing gown yourself?
I love it. Do you know what? I'm just thinking you're so right in that. Why isn't it part of our day wear? They are so comfy just to stick on like a coat, but they're all snuggly, and obviously they're long, so warm your legs.
Yeah, and I had to laugh in our area. I think it was last year. Sometime, people actually got banned from taking their kids to school in their dressing gowns. There was a mad influx of people just taking them to school in their dressing gowns.
I saw a woman walking a dog the other day in PJs and a dressing gown in town, and I did think, oh, love. I don't know. I'm not sure. In the afternoon, in your PJs and dressing gown, walking the dog, I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, but they're just, it's definitely the comfort factor. I'm sure a lot of people out there can relate to that. Yeah. What dressing gown have you got, by the way? What sort of design is it?
I'm like
you. Or a long one?
I'm like you. I have several, depending on the seasons and the temperature. But they're generally pink, and they're very, very fluffy. Like velvety fluff, like velvet.
Yeah.
Snuggly ones.
I mean, those fun ones are my sort of favourite ones. I mean, obviously you get the normal mundane ones, the plain colour ones, but the wacky ones, it's the same with bins really, the wacky ones that really stand out, that make you smile, and have little hoods with little ears on or whatever.
Shame only you see it, really.
Yeah, that's right. So I like to keep a look at it. If I ever see anyone putting out their bins in their dressing gown, I have a little smile and think, look, that is quality there. Putting your bins out in your dressing gown. Oh, and just quickly back to bins. I did have a binformation centre last weekend.
Okay.
Yeah, at my local carnival.
Right.
And basically, it was a stall, various information. Some of the media stuff I've done, some information about recycling. And at one end of the table, I had my fab bin for general waste. The other end of the table, I had a nice little slimline blue recycling bin that was given to me. Now, that bin is from Hampshire. Now, around our way, we have green bins for recycling. Now, that was a blue bin for recycling, and that's what fascinates me, how they change from area to area. And it was left out as an example. And I had a couple of bags as well. One bag was for soft plastics for recycling. The other bag was for cans and bottles. But the funny thing was, no one was interested in my stall. They just used the bin. Yeah. But that was sort of in the end, when it got to 2 p.m, I literally packed up the stall for that. No one's interested whatsoever. But at least they used my bins. And
exactly.
That did make them
smile as well.
Yeah.
We're grateful. We're grateful to you.
Coming up with cardboard or whatever. So how much bin does this go in? So yeah, that came in quite handy there. Oh, and I've got to say a quick hello to the Dull Men's Club. I think you've spoken to them before.
Yes, we did a mini-series.
Just a quick hello to them, celebrating the ordinary, like what we're doing with bins and dressing gowns and any other random interest you have.
Exactly. Oh, you are lovely. Listen, Dave, we are out of time. Give us your Facebook page for your dressing gown club.
Will you? That's the
That's
Dressing
it.
Gown Club. It's simply
You just
called the
find
Dressing
it.
Gown Club.
Okay,
Check it out.
Brilliant.
Okay, well, thanks for having me on.
You're
Enjoy
welcome.
your day, everybody. Enjoy your dressing gowns.
Will do. Thanks,
Your morning
Dave.
cuppa. Thanks, Dave.
Bye,
Bye.
Dave. Bye-bye.
Bye.
He's a whirlwind, isn't he? Dustbin Dave here on BBC Radio WM.